who would like to give us a recap for some inspiration?
I'm gonna be.
I can. Oh yeah, go for it.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm gonna be so real with y'all. I need this recap way more than anything right now.
Oh shit. Okay, well,
Do we want to try and do this as a team?
I think I remember enough.
Are we recapping?
We are.
Do, do we need? Do y'all need help?
Yeah, if you want to jump in, I think everybody could use a little help.
Yeah, if you just want to read your journal, man.
I got y'all. All right. It's Flame Rule the 20th. Happy Flame Rule the 20th. We started the session by being freshly hopped into Jarlaxle's carriage. And he seemed very concerned and very, very pleased with our progress and that we led him right to it. More importantly, he wasn't doing that fucking voice. And we were like, sorry, hang on, let me throw up. Why aren't you doing your voice? And he was like, oh, well, that's just a little voice that I do when I don't trust people so that the people around me know to be on their guard. Nim, you should ask your mom about it. And we were like, cool. Vom. And then we were telling him about the whole children situation, and he was suggesting some stuff to us about having a magician push them past their 9th birthday. But we were talking about like, oh, would that push them like way past? Like, yeah, it would save them, but like we don't want them to be like super like old because they're humans and that's like a short lifespan. Like we don't want to fuck them up. So we're throwing that stuff around. All of us got out to walk eventually, except for Nim, who rode in the carriage with Jarlaxle, and they talked about some drow stuff, and Jarlaxle is actually yeah, he's like he's got some stuff he's doing. And the rest of us rode back or walked back. When we got home, Nim was alive and in one piece and fine. And Jarlaxle was hanging. Vincent was on our porch. Asper was also there. Corsonis was talking about wanting to speak to the Blackstaff, both to save the kids and ask about where the dragons will go. We realized that we should probably try to talk to Asmodeus, but we were like, how the fuck would we even do that? And Vincent said that we would have to send Devil to deliver that message, specifically by maybe even like carving into the devil. But we were like, where the fuck do we get a devil from? And Vincent was like, I got friends. And we were like, perfect. How much? Way out of budget. Brisket ran in and was like, I summoned some shit. Please help me. And we were like, Brisket, heart emoji. Sure. So we followed him back to the library, and he apparently started a fire on the 3rd floor of the library to keep people out of this wing that was that had things summoned in it. So thank you, Brisket. You're a genius. We love you. We started walking around kind of in the area that we knew that some stuff had been summoned, and we got ambushed by shadows. We dealt with them, but as they died, they started kind of coalescing into one big dude, who was very, very freaky. And then once we killed him, as we were fighting him, we noticed that it was like things were like falling off and revealing a form underneath. And once we defeated it, we realized that it was a ghost child, specifically Osvaldo Castellanter. And so we talked to him a little bit, and he wanted to help save his siblings in the way that he could not be saved himself. We had Cromley bring the living Castellanter kids up to the library so that Osvaldo could maybe scare him a little bit. So the kids were brought over. They recognized Osvaldo, but they thought that he had just been sent off to school, and so they thought that he was doing some kind of trick, and it was just like a an illusion or something. They agreed when Nim explained that we were going to slightly age them up just to keep them safe. And we were all able to pitch in so that the children would not be aged very much. The people with very long lifespans took most of that age. So the kids are now like 10-ish, safe from Asmodeus, and we have all gained various amounts of age. And then the session ended with Piety being summoned into a dream world with Ilmater to chat about what comes next. I would like to point out that I realized after the session ended that like she looks so dead right now. Like this all happened and then she just collapsed and is not, she's her corpsey self and presumably cannot respond to y'all right now. So very, very dead vibes going on, as usual. But yeah.
Troubling.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Give yourself a point of inspiration. And let's pick up with everyone in the library at the very point that Katie just described. Osvaldo has completed his ghost story. His siblings were freaking the fuck out until Nim used a little magic to bring some calmness to this situation. And Piety has fallen unconscious, dead. Real tough to tell with Piety, the difference between those two.
Exidio will run over and start trying to check for a pulse and then be like, wait a minute, she doesn't have a fucking pulse. How do I... Wait, I'm sorry, kids. My bad. How do I know if she's dead?
Smack her?
As if that wasn't the first thing I did. All right, well, good luck, Piety, I guess. I don't know, maybe someone can read their mind and see if there's any activity going on in there. I don't know.
Somebody tried to fart it, so it's not going to work on my head.
I'm sorry, what was that?
What?
What'd you say?
Nothing. I didn't say nothing yet.
Okay. All right. So is the plan just to sort of hang out and hope that Piety regains consciousness at some point?
Can't do much else except bring her to a morgue, and I don't think that's gonna help.
Yeah, I mean, I'll
Take her home,
pump a
stick her in
little
the
cure
bathtub.
wounds into her just to see if that does anything. But that's it.
We can
Okay.
always take her back and put her in the bathtub.
Yeah, that's what we'll do elsewise.
Yeah, let's see that cure wounds.
Character sheet.
Yeah, fantastic. You see some of the wounds on Piety's body begin to stitch themselves closed. You, being an accomplished spellcaster and healer at this point, you know that this means that the spell is working. This is definitely... You can't cure wounds, right, on a dead being, right? So this is clearly a being with some life in it, but does not regain consciousness.
Gotcha. All right, I think that means she's alive or at least still undead. So we should... Brisket, I guess you could let them know the library's good now or whatever, get back to the haunt.
I apologize in advance for that. Price is preposterous. I'm not paying. Okay, great. We'll just put everything back then. Sorry, I'm doing a whole Ghostbusters bit. Never mind. Yeah. Okay. Well, I can't let anybody. I got to clean up a little bit first. You know, it's a real mess in here. What are you guys gonna do with those two? And he's
I
pointing to
don't
the
know, would the
kids.
responsible thing be to turn them back over to the law?
So,
Probably.
Say
I
if,
mean, that might be the legally responsible thing to do, but are we sure that's like the best thing for them?
I mean, it's up to Saith to figure out what to do with them from there, and do so under all the legal means, as opposed to whatever shenanigans we would get up to.
Everything else we've been doing.
Yeah, having our ghost bartender become a ghost nanny does not really seem like. I want that more than anything, but I understand that it's not a good idea.
Yeah, Saith is like, I think maybe these kids have already seen one ghost too many. I mean,
Well, see, our guy's invisible, so
He's pretty chill too. Pretty fucking chill.
no, Saith, I apologize. Please carry on.
Saith is just pinching the bridge of his nose and has his eyes closed. It's like, despite all indications to the contrary, I really do like you guys. You just make it really hard sometimes.
I get that a
Well,
lot.
we appreciate you accepting it.
Okay. And he waves the kids over. He's like, come on, kids. We're gonna get you someplace safe and quiet, and maybe tell you like a nice story, just a nice fairy tale with a happy ending, no deaths or murders, right? Terenzio sort of sighs and is like, oh, thank you. Elzarina sort of shrugs, is like, oh. He also waves you over, Exidia.
Yeah, I'll approach.
He's like, he says, look, I know we all sort of got off on the wrong foot. But no one or no two people more than you and me. But I do appreciate what you've done here. Just because I can't do it and I have other responsibilities that require me to take a different course of action. I'm grateful for what you've done and you and your friends have done for Waterdeep in general and for these kids specifically.
Your work to aid is not gone unnoticed either. Our differences stem from some very ideological places, and that's okay. But our overarching goal has always been for the right cause and the right goodness. So we couldn't have done it without you.
Well, you know where to find us if you need us, and hopefully we've now got all the evidence we need. We can get all this squared away with the Castle and Tears, and we can get these kids somewhere safe. We've had this in the evidence lockup, and we don't really know what to do with it, but something tells me you might. And he presses something sharp into your hand. Which-
I will take it and like nod to him, and then after that moment has passed, like look and see what it is.
Okay. Let me make some changes here. You should now see a nullification crystal in your inventory, or in the
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let me know if you see that.
Yes, I've got it.
Okay. Yeah, and he takes the kids with Barnabas, and they fuck off. And are you guys just hanging out here? What's your plan?
I still think we should take Piety back to the hunt. We don't really need to be here any longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take her back.
Modia's situation is resolved.
Better than I think we were planning on letting it be anyway, so. Or capable of otherwise.
So, well, the contract is burned up, so the Castellanters no longer have his support, and the children are no longer in danger of being sucked down into the abyss and turned into horrible abominations.
Do your courts have rules pertaining to the testimony of deceased people? Because if not, this ghost over here also, first-hand account of all that's happened here.
The
Testify against the
I guess his
Castellanters?
parents? Yeah.
think
I
we
don't
may
know,
have
just
already
in
been through
case
a
he
lot.
needs more proof or anything.
Oh, I mean,
But I doubt it.
no, I think my work here is done.
He's sort of already been through it, I think. I don't think we need to make
No,
him
yeah. Don't
go
want
to
to.
court.
I don't want any of you to be in a courthouse any more than you ever have to.
I also apologize. The ghost turns to you and says, "Fuck you, pig. You'll never get me in court," and just dissipates.
Bye, unusually cool child. We pick up Piety and start fireman carrying her, or carrying her
right.
between two of us at a time.
Fantastic. You weekend at Bernie's Piety's body.
That's
Yes! Yes!
that's it.
Back to the haunt. We'll just leave it. Well, yeah. Okay. Great. While this is going on, and for some, Piety, for you, some indeterminate amount of time, you are walking on the beach next to Ilmater. He says, "Well, You've done a wonderful job. I knew you had it in you. That's why I chose you.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Ooh, that's a good question. Good overall. I'm glad. I I know you know, but I've been trying. Been trying real hard. Um, I'm just glad I lived up to any expectations. I guess me saying lived up is a little ironic. Um, yeah, it's
I'm comfortable with the colloquial.
yeah, it feels good. Being good isn't it's not something that comes easily to me. I have no memories. I have no sentimental value. I have no nostalgia for this place, even though I'm sure Lydia was here in Waterdeep. I It makes it hard to feel attached to things, and that makes it hard to be good. But it's
Oh,
I'm glad I have my friends.
well, yeah, you've made the attachments that you need and found the meaning where you could to make a life for yourself. And as I suspected, when I pulled Lydia's body from the water, your ability and willingness to sacrifice for those that you feel connected to, it's an innate part of you. It's what I was counting on when I chose you to get involved in this particular mission. I would have myself, but to directly go against Asmodeus, I feel would cause a much greater war. I'm glad my faith in you, and by extension your friends, has been rewarded. I'm curious, what makes you think Lydia has spent time here in Waterdeep?
I mean, she was involved with Jarlaxle stuff. I guess I wasn't too far when I first, I guess relatively. I mean, she was on boats and shit. I feel like you gotta go through Waterdeep at some point.
Oh no, Lydia's from hundreds of miles south of Waterdeep.
Pardon? Excuse, where's Lydia from? What the fuck? Sorry, pardon
Oh,
my Elvish.
I don't even know that there's a name. There's certainly not a name anymore. There used to be a small orphanage south of here. She and her younger siblings lived there. But the Church of Ilmater, as you can imagine, not the best at fundraising, and couldn't. We had some trouble keeping the doors open. Lydia was a smart girl, and she knew this. She ran away and volunteered on a pirate ship. Being a smart girl, she figured out how to squirrel away some percentage of the booty without being detected, had it sent back to the orphanage to keep it open. That went on for a while. Until, well, you know.
Yup. Sure do.
Yeah, but that place hasn't existed for 50 or 60 years.
Shit.
Yeah, after you died, there was no way to keep the funding available, so no way to keep the doors open.
Damn. So it was for nothing after all.
Oh, no. You kept that place open for another 5 years. That's another 5 years of helping people. Certainly 5 years of helping your younger siblings. Grown into fine adults now, have children of their own.
How many siblings do I have? Or did Lydia have?
You got a younger brother and a sister.
Huh.
Well, what do you think you're going to do now?
Well, now I'm thinking I'm gonna go fucking find them, but also like that's fucked up. That's like traumatic. Oh, but also,
Well, you
other than
don't
that,
you don't need to decide now, but just know that I'm grateful for what you've done, and I'm not at all surprised, but it brings me great joy to see you live up to the promise that I suspected you had within you. When you make your decision, let me know, and I can certainly do what I can to assist you, whether it's in this form or your former.
well, I appreciate it, and I'm grateful for getting a second opportunity.
Well, should you run into any more trouble, this might help you. And he unwraps one of the, excuse me, unwraps one of the bloody bits of rope that he has wrapped around his arm and sort of hands it to you. As he does, it stops actively bleeding, but it is still like soaked in dried, caked blood. And he gives you the enduring wrist wrap.
What?
Would you like to stay here on the beach for a while, or perhaps somewhere else, or would you like to go back with your friends?
Oh, did it? I mean, did it work? Are the kids like? Are my friends
Oh,
okay? Is everybody?
oh, my apologies. I totally forgot. Yeah. The kids are now 10 years old, the ninth birthday being completely skipped over. Your friends are in varying degrees, either older or much older. But everyone's alive. The contract with Asmodeus is broken. It seems like things are well.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, I think I'll sit with you for a while if you'll have me.
Oh, absolutely. Do you like it here on the beach, or shall we enjoy a different setting?
Show me what else you got. I guess beaches aren't the best memory for me.
Well, yes, I mean, I've got whatever you'd like, so perhaps you should choose.
Hmm. Yeah, give me a forest in the middle of fall.
Oh, could you just describe it for me? And as you are describing it, it is just happening all around you. And at the as you trail off, it's just like, this is nice. The crunch of the dead leaves on the soles of my feet, it pinches a little. Makes me feel right at home.
You're weirdly delightful, you know that?
Oh, that's awfully sweet, I think.
I mean it sweetly. I mean it nicely.
Wonderful. Yeah, and you guys walk through the forest, talking about whatever it is you two would like to talk about. Meanwhile, at the haunt, what's going on now that you've dumped Piety off in the tub? What's the plan?
There's the thud as we drop Lydia or Piety into the tub.
Mm-hmm.
I still
as we're kinda
cracks on the edge.
And as we're kind of like huffing and puffing from the exertion, just hands on hips. So you're not going back to Lork?
No, I don't imagine I am. Is this really the time? Gestures just that they passed out, Lydia. We also still haven't figured out what to do with the dragon.
I mean, she's not going anywhere. There's no point in trying to make the decision without her. So
Wait, a dragon?
Fucking idiot, Jesus Christ.
I thought y'all said that it was just money.
Out with it, Shepard. What made you change your mind?
Nothing. I never wanted to go back. I came here to get help for it. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's kind of a dump, and it's not exactly my home. My family came there to escape our enemies, and there's no reason to go back. I'm sure they can find someone else to look after my flock of sheep.
But you hate it here.
Oh, this city is awful. This city, I mean, but at least there's stuff here, you know?
So, are you staying or are you gonna go?
Well, I'm not sure yet. I am still, of course, a member of Force Grey. I can't just abandon my duties here. Someone has to actually give a shit about this city, and most Waterdavians don't, it seems, and I'm not Waterdavian, so...
Okay.
You know, what else will Force Grey do?
All right. Asked and answered.
Besides, I own part of a tavern.
Yeah, but you sort of fell into it by accident. Could have just walked out at any time.
I could have, but I didn't.
Yeah. I sit on the edge of the tub.
5 paper birds fly in through the window.
Fuck, not again. I dive into the tub.
Come
Um,
snuggle.
2 of these things land in the tub. One
Ah!
heads towards you, Corsonus. One heads towards you, Exidia, and one heads towards you, Kaz.
Hope I don't know anybody. I just hope I don't.
I certainly don't. I'm an official.
I'm just praying as I unfold one of them.
As per its terms, the note just reads, as per its terms, your loan on the haunt has been called in. Please repay all coin to the Castellanteers. Or vacate the premises.
What does it say?
We're being evicted
Well,
again.
Fuck.
our money is being called in, so if we have the money, we can pay. We know where there is certainly some valuable goods. The pots that our good friend said we could have, not the other dragons.
Mhm.
Okay. I for sure don't have the fucking money. I'm just
I mean,
Your brother
right.
chimes in. Yeah, that's right. We do not have the money. I just got out of debtor's prison. Technically, I'm still a debtor. It's just to you.
yeah, I think we're about to be the same thing, bro.
This is how banks work. This is so
Right.
fucked.
Jax gives you a fist bump, Kaz.
Fist bump. So
Corsonis is right. There's part of the wealth that we could just take, but I mean, do we do that?
I mean, if we do it, we have nothing to worry about past that, right?
The money on the upper level seemed to be something that was put there by Rainier's father. Dagult was put there by Dagult. As far as we can tell, it's not embezzled. It was his. All of his things he left to... I should actually get this dwarf's name out of my notes. Barak, who has offered them to us. This is very distinct from the embezzled dragons. They don't belong to anyone. They're certainly not going to do anything else sitting down there, or we could simply vacate this place.
Yeah,
I
but
suppose
this is
the
where all
other
my
answer is
stuff
we
is.
can go to someone else for a loan. Do you know anyone who's willing to give out, 5,000-ish gold pieces?
Maybe, but I don't think you're gonna like the answer.
I don't imagine I'd like to change one for another, no.
I'm pretty sick of being in debt. If I could avoid it, that would be great. But this is also, I don't know. I've got my mom's house, but it's not. I'm too big for it now. This is probably the best home that I've had in a very long time. I don't really want to just give it over just because some petty devil worshippers are angry that we've caught them in a trap.
I mean, I'm not sure what our other options are at this point. I mean, to be sure, we have some. It's just
Do you think they can try to collect
I'm
if they're
certain
in
they
prison?
haven't. I'm sure it's not as though they've given up all their other noble titles, right? They are still nobility here in Waterdeep, and we've seen what that means.
In the interest of like their deal with Asmodeus, does the letter that has arrived have their like crest upon it?
Yeah, I mean, it would be. This is just a normal legal letter. There's nothing untoward about it. It's just you have signed a loan agreement with them, and they are calling it part of that agreement was that they could call it in at any time, and they have chosen to do that.
Mhm.
Basically, the only other thing besides the text that you can sort of glean from the letter, right, is the fact that you're receiving it is a pretty good indication that they're at least currently not in prison. You know, it would be hard to send this if they were currently incarcerated.
Mhm. I flick Piety's nose, trying to wake her up.
Hey, the fuck? Damn. Is
Hey, they're not
is
dead.
there a reason that you never mind, I don't want to know. What's going on?
Are being evicted, sort of.
Our
Oh,
debt has been called in.
perfect. I'll pick up my my bird and read it. Damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
just FYI, they're all the same.
Yeah.
Although it would be pretty cool if one of them just read, "You're the only one we really liked. The whole thing's yours." Signed, the Castle and Tears.
Heart emoji. Should I
P.S. Fuck you exclusively.
Could I send Cromley a message and ask what the fuck the deal is with them like being arrested and shit?
Yeah, sure. As long as you've got the spell and the spell slot.
I
Right,
I have my
or if you're-
book.
Oh, yeah, even
Using
better.
my speed dial. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
fantastic. Let's hear that message then.
Hi Barnabas. Wait, are you forget it. We are being asked to repay our
That's the
debt to
whole
the
message.
Castellanters. Yep,
Okay.
that's it.
Um,
I can't just do it repeatedly, so I could just like keep
Spam text him.
there's a brief pause before you get the response, which is, sorry to hear. We tried to keep them in lockup, but they pulled strings. We'll see what we can do, but I don't think it's much.
Okay, guys. They apparently have pulled some strings so that they are not currently in custody, and Cromley says he can't really do much about it, probably.
What if we had robbed them and just gave them back their own money? This is sort of a what if. I'm all for using the money that's in the vault as long as we actually have legal, rightful claim to it, and we feel okay about it.
I-
I don't want to leave this place if I can help it. Had enough taken from me, I think.
Yeah.
We could also take justice into our own hands.
No.
Personas
No.
plugs his ears.
Just murder. As much as I would love to stay over Nim's mom's house, I think we should just take
You filthy
his money.
bastard.
I swing my loot at him.
I feel like we should just pay him. We should just pay him.
Guys, I have a great idea. What if I embezzled from Jarlaxle? Right?
What's he gonna do? Kill you again?
Exactly. I'm kidding for the record, in case he has this place fucking tapped or some shit. Damn.
No. Now I'm scared that it's tapped.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we could just go get some money out of the vault. I mean, there was a ton in the pots and stuff upstairs, right? Would that be enough?
Only one way to find out, I suppose. Although I would recommend that until we are prepared to move the rest of the dragons, we stall as long as we can before we go down there.
One
also-
additional bit on the note, just to make things easier. It says you have 4 days to get the Castle and Tears the money.
Okay, that's a very useful bit of information.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Also, what if we like go to bring this to them and they just like jump us, you know?
They don't have Asmodeus backing them up anymore.
Yeah. They're still rich as fuck though. They got guards and stuff, don't they?
Yeah, but we're scrappy.
Yeah, that's
Weren't
facts.
All the Castellantis guards devils that they wouldn't have an employee anymore? Or?
That is a good point.
They are no longer patroned.
Mm.
We could rest and then go start counting coin. I should go talk to my mother.
Yeah.
Counting what coin precisely?
I don't know, whatever we're allowed to take from Barak.
That it's still down in the vault.
We could go there. I'll give you a unicorn.
I mean, I had just said that perhaps we should wait until we are ready to move the rest of the dragons. The fewer times we open it up, the fewer times we make Barak vulnerable, the fewer times we make the dragons vulnerable until they are ready to be properly collected. We have
Fair
some
enough.
time before the castle enters.
the question is, how are we going to move all of that?
I think we've had a few interested parties who said they would be willing to help, whatever that's worth.
I am still hoping that we will. That an issue this pressing will, at the very least, if not the Blackstaff, someone higher up. This is money. This is an issue that should go before the Lords of Waterdeep. This is money collected from their people. It is money meant for the good of Waterdeep that these citizens had paid to Waterdeep. This, honestly, if I could get a meeting with the Lords, that would be even better. But until then, as she's in charge of Force Grey, my best offering is the Blackstaff. If you have another suggestion, I'm more than happy to hear it. Certainly if we have a way to.
Adam, what would
Mhm.
be protocol for trying to acquire audience with either the masked or the the masked lords or the open lord?
You can, just as an average citizen of Waterdeep, right? You can make an appeal at the office to get on the schedule. That is not likely to be successful. I do think that any strings that you can pull, right? Basically anyone with any reputation that might have more pull with the open lord, right? It is going to increase that chance. Think of it this way, right? If you were to write a letter to the president of the United States saying, "Hey, we need to talk," right? Think about how successful that would be, right? Versus, if you knew people that worked in Washington, if you knew people that had worked on the president's staff, if you knew just famous people that might have more, trying to get them to make the appeal or them to make the introduction, that might be more successful than just trying to go about it on your own. You can try, if you'd like to march down to the Open Lord's office and try and get on the schedule, that is certainly something that you can do. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Trying to think of the people we know that might actually be a help. Because my assumption would be that, like, Saith Cromley is not near the level we would need him to be to, like, pull that string.
I think that would be a safe bet.
Yeah.
Oh, Volo and Rainier. Hi, besties.
Rainier might actually be a solid pull. He's with us, right? He's been around.
He's not with you right now, right? But he's been around.
Okay. Because I think he has a better chance. And then besides that, the only other, like, people of influence that we really know would be that crazy woman who owns the property the vault is on, the castle in Tears, and Jarlaxle. And I don't like the odds of most of those options. And we could always try to make an appeal, but the thing is we know what's inside the vault, but no one we could ask knows what's inside the vault, so they would definitely just think we're lunatics. maybe we ask Corneer. We start there. And besides, maybe he knows someone that might be better connected.
We do have one other person we could ask. Barak. I mean, he's been there, guarding it for some time.
Do you think he?
I don't think he has necessarily the pull to get us an audience or anything, but the audience is all in the hopes of moving. Perhaps, as ridiculous as it sounds, perhaps he could help us move it.
Okay.
I mean, if we could get it somewhere safe, perhaps a bank, or certainly not here, but a vault, the meeting place of the Lords of Waterdeep, Force Grey. Well, no, not Force Grey headquarters. I'm a little hesitant.
I don't see why we can't just try to pursue both leads. See what gives us the best results first. We have 4 days, but still not a lot of time. Any other thoughts or disagreement?
Suppose speaking to Barak would also solve the other issue of allowing us to retrieve the funds. We could also, if we wanted to, get a better sense of where they came from and why we're allowed to, whether we're allowed to have them. You know what I mean? Mitigate some of those concerns.
Sounds good. What time is it?
It's getting late. It's been a
Okay.
long day.
It's been a long fucking
Yeah.
day, guys.
Yeah. So I mean, sun's definitely down. I would say, if you're going out to try and squeeze in any more adventuring this evening, you're most likely going to run into some exhaustion rolls.
Mhm. Would I be able to run out for a quick errand?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think errands, like if you want to go out, even just a little carousing or blowing off steam, like that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say I'll step out. Since probably don't need to turn in till about midnight anyway. But I'll be back tonight. Gonna go try to get some things ironed out with the family, I think.
Ah, good luck.
Yeah. Slip out while Kaz is distracted. Bye.
All right, guys, we partying or what?
Yeah, where are those kids at? We need to get some drinks.
What?
What?
A good day for them. We
I
promised
just
them a
got back.
birthday party.
I don't. I think they're good.
You
I
were
think they
there when
probably.
we sent them back, you know.
Yeah, my memory's not the best.
Yeah, you look. I don't mean this rudely. You look like the shadows fucked you up a little bit.
I'm fine. I'm not even middle aged yet.
Yeah.
I'm not even.
I'm not sure that's what piety meant.
Yeah, you look a little withered. I don't know. You look, or do you feel okay? Strength drain. You strengthy.
Now that you mention it, I thought it was just that you weighed a little bit more when I carried you home, but
Wow.
no.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks. Also, y'all carried. I guess that's the only way y'all would have gotten me here. But y'all carried me home.
Yeah, you were sprawled in the library. So
Oh.
How would I weigh a little bit more? I don't eat.
Yeah. What the fuck? Did y'all think I was dead? Were you crying? Be honest. I want to hear that y'all were full body sobbing in the middle of the library, by the way, so think about your answer.
My life was ruined. Everything was trash.
Good.
I was
good.
contemplating burning all of Waterdeep to the ground.
As you should. Yeah.
You see? Exactly what Corsana said.
Perfect. I was chatting with Ilmady.
You chatted with him?
Wait,
Is that
huh?
his name now? Wait.
Oh no, I was hanging out with Ilmater. Apparently I have 2 siblings. Elydia did.
Okay, sort of
and-
buried the lead there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot to process. And Elydia was not from Waterdeep. She was from wherever the fuck they were from, and the orphanage ended up closing down anyway. So, yeah, I died and it still closed down. But as he was telling me, I still got some years out of it that wouldn't have if I had not embezzled. So.
Fuck, that's a lot right there.
Yeah.
Some drinks.
Yeah, I hate learning about myself, I swear to God. I'll get up out of the tub and start going downstairs.
I feel like as we go downstairs, I bring up to Jax. You're my older brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not no more.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I'm 156 now, man. Yeah.
Wait, so you're my older brother?
Yeah.
Wait, how did... And now he's just looking around the room. He's like, I don't understand. How does this happen? Are you okay? Is everyone... What do you mean you're my older brother?
Two kids we helped out. We had to sacrifice some years so they can grow older. So they don't go raise, they don't become middle aged with the mind of a 9-year-old.
Okay. And he just explains to everyone he needs it a lot slower and many more times before he fully understands it. But eventually he does. Well, okay. Well, I mean, how do you feel about this, Kaz?
Oh my God, I always wanted to be his older brother. You used to fuck with me a lot as a kid.
Yeah, that I did. Wait, does this mean I've got all that coming back at me now?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh no. Well, I'm not just saying this in hopes of minimizing that, but if this ordeal has proved anything, It's that of the two of us, you're the heroic one. You're the one with the hero's spirit. I'm a bit too much of a ne'er-do-well, and I may have been your older brother, but it seems I always should have been looking up to you.
Punch him as hard as I can. I have a 0 strength, but I am still going to punch him on the side of his shoulder.
Ah, all right. I deserve that. I guess a little too heartfelt for us. I
All right.
understand. But as the older brother now, I guess this is yours. And he hands you a locket that you recognize as the family heirloom.
But-
And I will put this in your journal
Oh, shit.
so that you can see it.
Yeah. Oh,
And let me know if you have any issues with that, seeing it.
okay. Yeah. Well,
Use it in good health. I know that you will. You'll certainly put it to better use than I did.
oh shit. I think you needed it more than me. Let's let's get some drinks, man. I don't want to get too sentimental
Okay.
right now.
When you turn around to get drinks, you see that your spirit bartender, Leaf, has put shots on the table. And I would like the 4 of you that are here to make me a history check.
Hey, history.
Yeah.
$15.
Damn, Corsonis.
Ixidia and Corsonis, you both recognize these shots immediately as a mind eraser, right? Corsonis, with that history check, you are able to put together the fact that Piety just had mentioned something about it all being a lot of information and she wanted to forget it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so can put together why there are now 5 mind erasers on the table. Jax grabs his shot glass.
Grab my shot glass.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Well done, everyone. To the 2 not so young Castellanter children. Knocks the shot glass on the bar, clinks shot glasses around,
Yeah.
and shoots that mind eraser down. And before it's even down the hatch, Leaf is pouring more shots. And as this party continues, Nim is arriving at home.
I knock first, but then I do just walk in. Hey, I know it's late. Hi.
You're God damn it. See a candle get lit. Your mother is holding a sledgehammer in one hand. She's in like her night clothes, right? Clearly got out of bed when the door opened and grabbed a sledgehammer.
Jesus, you still keep
and-
that by the
You're going to get hurt. I just take it from her.
She looks at you and goes, Blueberry, who's going to get hurt? Come into my house unannounced
Okay.
in the middle of the
I'm
night.
going to get
and
hurt if you
I'm
keep
not.
that by your bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe a little more patience. Knock and announce yourself. Like a gentleman.
Yeah.
What do I owe
I-
the pleasure
yeah,
of this visit?
Yeah, you actually, it's about a gentleman. I had a couple of questions, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. So, so, Tyler's giggling. So, I've made the acquaintance of a certain Jarlaxle.
Motherfucker. Sorry, go ahead.
That's what I'm afraid of, Mom.
What?
Oh no.
Hey, who is this guy?
Well, you do have quite the imagination on you. Always love that about you. No, me and your father, we go, I guess, way back with Jarlaxle. Not a lot to tell, really. I mean, you know most of it. We decided to leave the Underdark and leave all of the possessions in our station that we had so that we could make a better life for you up here. As we've told you before, that was neither an easy decision nor an easy journey. And we were, to make it a little safer, we were part of a small group, all looking to come to the surface world here in Waterdeep. One member of that particular caravan, an idiot, would not stop talking about how important he was and that he was carrying something very special for Jarlaxle himself. Well, that put quite a target on his back and on all of our backs. And unfortunately, about 2/3 of the caravan died in an attack by people trying to obtain this package. Well, although we survived, I recognized that if we were part in any way of a group that was supposed to deliver a package to Jarlaxle and did not, then we would be on a list that I did not want to be on. Your father and I argued. He wanted to use it as leverage, open it, find out what it was, and get himself better station. Get us better station here in Waterdeep. I said I wanted nothing to do with that man, and I'd deliver him his package unopened so that I could look him in the eye, tell him I didn't know what it was, didn't want to know what it was, and that our business was concluded. And that's exactly what I did. Your father was none too pleased. And unfortunately, Jarlaxle was. He was very impressed and talked about the type of good sense and loyalty that I displayed, and that he insisted that he owed me a favor. And that's a favor I've never collected, because I want nothing to do with the man.
Okay. And is that the last you'd ever seen of him?
Oh, he pops in from time to time to try and even the score. Give me something. Ask if there's something I need. Right, and all I tell him is I need him to stop dragging that dirty fucking seawater all over my rug.
So, what if, without my knowledge, until after the fact, he had cleared my debt with New Ulm?
Well, that sounds like you find yourself in a bit of trouble, quite frankly. Owing things to that man is not a good place to be.
He has this idea that, given proper opportunity, that he could gain some popularity with some of the greater forces in the city. And he's beginning to put a little bit of pressure. It's becoming apparent that the thing that he wants is something that really only I can give him.
Well, how do you mean?
Well, we found a vault that has some very powerful things in it. One of which he insists that he wants to have so that he can turn over to the Blackstaff to gain her favor. And it requires 3 keys. And my friends and I are the only ones who know what those 3 keys are. And I'm the only one who can make one of them as of right now. It wouldn't be hard to make it if someone else knew what it were, but as of right now, just me.
Well, my advice is that you follow actions I took that many years ago, and that is you should want as little involvement with that man as possible. He's a conniving bastard and a gifted liar that is so dedicated and so committed to this cause that he believes is just and right and true that he doesn't give a shit about what people he hurts, including his own, to get it. But that's just me. You're your own person, Blueberry. And you need to make your own choices.
I'm
Plus, sounds like you're already neck deep in it.
I promise I wasn't trying.
Yeah, that's the way with you. Well, I really did hope that your efforts at the college and to be an entertainer would bear more fruit. But I know you've had an adventurous soul since I bounced you on my knee. There's no keeping you away from this, and I held on to this in hopes that you'd grow out of it. But clearly, that isn't the case. And she reaches into her drawer and hands you a box that has the restorative resonator in it, which is looks like a double recorder.
Yeah, cool. Am I supposed to see any text on it or just the image?
Let me see how I screwed this up. Maybe I put that in the wrong thing. Let me.
I'm all for surprises. I just wanted to make sure
Well,
that was
no,
intentional.
there you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Ooh, shit. All right. I play a quick little scale and then a couple measures of a song on it.
She closes her eyes and smiles. So what do you think you're going to do?
I think I need to talk to my friends some more. I think that everyone's right. That Jarlaxle is conniving. It's very apparent. But he did say some things that made sense. So even if I'm not going to do that incredibly stupid thing of giving him the thing that he wants, kind of want to try to do what he said he wanted to do anyway.
All right.
We'll see.
Oh, good luck to you, and good luck to your friend. How are they doing, by the way?
Well, we thought one of them died, but
Oh,
she
no.
kind of always just looks like that,
Not
and so it took
Kaz.
a little bit of time.
Oh.
Oh. Good night, Mom.
Okay. Oh, yeah. You hear her wistfully say, "Oh, if only Kaz were a little bit older."
The entire way home, I'm just contriving ways I can poison Kaz in his sleep. But I'll probably roll up at about midnight. I don't know what that means for everybody else's partying, but
Well, yeah. I mean, if we'd like to say they're still up so that you can check in with them, that would be great.
I'm still up.
Ixity is dozing in a chair, very loudly.
I'm trying to throw daggers at the dartboard on the ceiling, and it's not going well because I'm not dexterous.
Are you standing under it?
Uh-huh. And then every time one like doesn't stick well in either the ceiling or the dartboard, I'm like, oh shit.
It's a new game, it's knife dodge.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll come in playing my new pipe. If there's lights on, then I don't care if anyone's fallen asleep yet. I'll come and playing my pipe.
Most likely fucked up now playing with with Piety playing Wolfseye.
You're a lot better at this than I am. Ching.
I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to lock in.
I see how everyone else is doing, and I go and do 2 shots in a row. All right, knife.
I'm playing the board. Pass me a dagger.
Hey, Scorsona's still awake?
Oh. I'm gonna be honest. I lost track of him after the seventh shot.
Corsonis is probably sitting in a corner, just clearly deep in thought, mumbling to himself.
I think I throw a few rounds of knife,
Nice
ceiling
one, nice one.
darts, and then I go and check on him.
Indoor lawn darts.
Hey, you're still awake?
Yes, just thinking of what we can do to get the dragons out of the vault safely and into proper custody. How did your visit go?
Oh, fine. She gave me this. Play with the pipe a little bit more. You know, it's harder to do with two different hands. Hey, do you want to keep this place?
I mean, I guess. Feel like we've put a certain amount of effort into it. But if not, if we can't, or if no one else wants to, then I'm sure I'll find somewhere else. Why?
Because I think everyone else would be either easy enough to convince, or has already made up their mind that there's not really a point in selling this place. It's ours, and you're part of it, and I want to make sure that you're going to be part of it. You know, you made your point. You know, you're not going back to Lork, but you also made your point that you don't love this city, and you're sort of staying here out of the kindness of your heart. And I think you're the only person I was uncertain of whether or not you actually wanted to be here.
I've only really ever been two places. Lork and here, and this is, at the very least, better than Lork. Which is honestly a very low bar. But I have nowhere to really be. And this place has been home for some time, and frankly, with everything we've gone through to get it, especially if we pay off this loan, it feels like a pretty solid middle finger to the Castellanters, and frankly, fuck the Castellanters. So there's some element of spite, but I mean, nice having friends. That's a step up. And there's no sheep, so there's that.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not expected. I'm not expected to care for the sheep. There are sheep. We've seen sheep, but
Did you not have friends back home?
not very many. No, not really. No, none at all. Really, it's a terrible place. I don't know if I've mentioned that.
You made me very, very sad just now. But I'm glad that you think we're friends, and that we are friends, and that you're staying
That
here.
was a very weird way to phrase that.
Yeah, I know. It's been a long day. But I'm glad you're staying.
Oh, if we could only figure out how to get the money somewhere safe. I have to admit, I was a little perturbed how quickly, what is her name? Astrid just turned to, yes, we'll just keep that money.
Yeah, people get all sorts of screwy when it comes to coin, don't they? I think that you're right. We should probably just, I don't know, ask Barak if he can maybe help or something. Best we can do, I think, is try to get someone important to do it for us, because there's so many people who are being real assholes to us still, and I'm fucking sick of it. I'm very much ready for it to not be. It's not even our responsibility. It's just not a problem anymore.
It does make me wonder how Waterdeep has stood for so long and why it's so revered when there just seems to be so many things that so many people that I'm not saying they're working against the city, but maintain so many selfish desires that I don't know, I'm just sort of forced to wonder how anything gets done.
Do you think there are places where that's not a problem?
For all its failures, Lork's guild, the guild masters did seem to be more concerned with the care of Lork than the lining of their pockets, but I don't know, it's been some time. Perhaps I have misjudged. We were not exactly was not exactly a high politics member. I wasn't exactly. I wasn't exactly in on all the details.
Well, I think my planning brain has just about dried up for the night, so I'm going to try levitating Exidia upstairs. I don't know if it'll work if she's unconscious, but might as well try it.
While this conversation has been going on, a somewhat familiar face has come in through the back door and helped himself to a pint of ale. It is Ot Steeltoes, who, Kaz, you can see. Piety, you can probably see because you're now sitting at the bar, but no one else can see until he sort of makes his way out from behind the bar and just, not in a grandiose way, but just to sort of announce his presence, just clears his throat a little and says, I understand some congratulations are in order. I thought I'd stop by and just see how you all were doing and congratulate you on what has been a job well done. I understand you've both found and entered the vault, and you've done some good work to help save the two younger Castellantier children. Is this correct?
Yes, the children have been saved.
Well done, well done. And I understand why you don't want to tell me about the vault. It's part of the reason I'm here. I still want to make an appeal that perhaps some of that money can go to the Order of the Goldfish and the work that we do to steer Xanathar's bizarre and unpredictable lurchings into the least damaging possibilities. But I sense, as he looks around the room, since no one will acknowledge that you have in fact found the vault, that my pleas probably fall on deaf ears.
We have a lot of death threats and other things going on. We're
Yeah,
still,
Oh.
not you. Please don't take it personally.
yeah, we're
Oh,
figuring it
dear.
out still.
No, I want to be clear. One, I'm terribly sorry to hear that, but this is not a threat in any way, shape, or form. In fact, you have already been of great assistance to me personally and to the Order of the Goldfish in our previous mutual endeavors to replace Silgar, Xanathar's goldfish, so that we could avoid a rampage yet again. And I greatly appreciate that. I would not threaten you in any way, shape, or form. I still am happy that you have heard my appeal. It's actually the contrary. I'm not here to threaten. I'm if anything, I've got a promise of some assistance, Corsonis, if you have a moment.
Of course.
He'll pull up a seat next to you. And he's not he just says it's about Lork. I don't know if you want to talk privately or if this is sufficient.
Just find a table that's far enough away from everyone else.
Okay. Yeah, so you do that, and again, he's not like whispering. But he's not broadcasting either, and he just says, "Well, you know, we are aware of why you first came here, and although I can assure you we had nothing to do with it, it was to our great fortune that you arrived and that you met up with these individuals and that you could come to be of some assistance to the Order of the Goldfish. As you know, we affect the change that we like to see by use of leverage and manipulation, as opposed to that of direct action. Direct action against Xanathar would be a death wish. So we've learned to manipulate certain things. And it is in this vein that we came across a very powerful weapon. We have tried on several occasions to use it here in Waterdeep, but quite frankly, the city's just too large. We know there's going to be trouble in Waterdeep because of its size, but we can't always predict where. We have, for the longest time, hoped to try and find a smaller city or town, perhaps, where we could test this weapon and refine it. But of course, the problem there is, how do we know that there's ever going to be trouble in a small town? Many small towns go generations without seeing anything that would need a powerful weapon to combat it. And then you're here. with your story and your visions. And it seems we now know that trouble is coming to Lork. And you've been such a friend to us that we thought, what an opportunity for us to help each other. And so we have sent our specialists on to Lork to be ready for whatever comes, whenever it comes.
I do really appreciate that. I don't know what sort of specialist you're sending, but getting help for Lork was indeed
Well-
my main reason for coming here, but not really. It's not really my concern anymore.
I understand, and now it doesn't have to be. The problem is taken care of. As I pointed out, we don't take direct action. We again use leverage, and we've found what we believe to be a very, very powerful tool. There is a we've encountered a child quite disturbed, and we've tried to get him help, but that was not successful. And
A child?
yeah, and it's I must tell you, perhaps not you and your friends, but when I've met him, and most people I know that have met him, right, he's perhaps the most annoying child you've ever met. It's unfathomable how much you just want to get away from this child as soon as you meet him. Except for those with a heroic streak, it seems that he is catnip for heroes, for true heroes. And they will do anything for this child. So, we've sent this child ahead to Lork, and our specialists along with him, to make sure that he stays alive and stays healthy, but also that he looks as pathetic as is humanly possible, to just really lure the heroes in. We have crafted an apple box for him to sleep in, and a dirty, disheveled old blanket that we've convinced him has some sentimental meaning. And those are all his worldly possessions. And the people in Lork will hate him. But heroes will come at some point, and when they see him, they will save him, and in doing, they will save Lork.
I don't mean to sound unappreciative, but did you hear yourself just then?
What's the alternative?
I don't know, but I mean, you've just discussed using a child to lure adventurers. After everything we've been through here to help children, you just...
The issue is quite simple. How do you think a child falls into our hands to begin with?
I don't want to think about that, if I'm being
Right.
honest.
Well, I can tell you precisely how it happens. All the other aid organizations have said they don't want anything to do with him. That's how annoying he is. That's how frustrating he is.
That's awful. That
It
anyone
is-
would think that of a human being.
It is awful.
I
But that
assume-
is why we have specialists that are assigned to making sure that he remains alive and remains happy and remains healthy. He just needs to look pathetic.
If you say so.
I do.
Thank you, I suppose.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
It's not a great place, but it's also not an awful place.
Look, the best bet for that child in particular is that he is found by true heroes.
I will take your word for it.
Well, I appreciate that, and you can sleep better at night knowing that you have saved Locke.
All it seems I've done is undone the damage I did, so I'm not sure that that really eases my conscience, but thank you nonetheless.
Certainly, and perhaps as you're drifting off to sleep, comfortable in the fact that Locke is now safe, perhaps you might be just slightly a bit more open to shaving off some portion of what was found in that vault and seeing that it finds its way to us.
You should
But-
probably stop while you're ahead on.
Mm. Yeah,
I mean, I
I
can't blame you for trying.
do what I can. One more drink before bed, everyone?
If you're buying.
Fuck
Sure.
yeah.
Why not? He put some gold on the bar. Everybody has a drink. Anything else before long rest?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's hear it.
I think before I go to rest, I will go to my room first, and pray to Ilmater again horribly, because that's what I do. And say, hey, real quick, I thought of something.
You're 3 words into it, right? And you're in a forest in the fall, and Ilmater's right there, and he's like, yeah?
Oh my god. You just scared the shit out of me.
Oh, should I do that?
I don't even
more
breathe.
Should I do that more slowly in the future?
No, that I'll just get used to it. Am I unconscious on the floor right now at home?
Yeah, I don't really know how to do anything about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. That was actually kind of related to what I wanted to ask you. I want to sleep, like actually sleep. Can you help with that? Do you know if anyone else could help with that? But I'm tired of being tired. I want to sleep like a normal person in a bed.
Sure. Hey, you ever jump in a pile of leaves?
I don't think I have.
Let's you want to push some of these leaves together, get a nice big pile together?
I would love nothing more.
Great. So he's helping you push leaves into a big pile. You can tell the difference between the leaves you push and the leaves he pushes, because the ones he pushes all are a little bloody and a little gross. Right?
Mm,
Yeah, exactly. But you do get a nice big
delish.
right. You do get a nice big pile of leaves going. Right? Says, do you want to go first or should I?
After you, Your Holiness.
Right. He jumps in, does a couple leaf angels, right? Gets up, pushes them back together. He's like, yeah, that felt good. Why don't you give it a try?
All right. I'll do a running start and like dive into them.
Okay. You do, and as soon as you hit the leaves, you yawn a little bit and you wake up and you are in bed, right? You're laying on your stomach just like you had dove into bed, and you are fully refreshed. You have actually slept this evening.
My God. Oh my fucking God. Fuck yeah.
Anyone else with any shenanigans before the long rest? Love me some shenanigans.
That's all we do in this party.
Mm.
I think I'm gonna sleep downstairs after drinking way too much for myself.
Okay. Your now little brother, seeing you passed out downstairs, like at the bar, head on like your forearm, laying on the bar, the other hand just sitting up there on the bar. He takes your one free hand and puts it in a bowl of warm water, and then he goes up to go to sleep. And why don't... Yeah, go for it.
There's a little pee come out.
Yep. That's exactly what he's trying to do. Let's take our 15-minute break here, and we'll meet back at 11:35-ish. Sound good, everybody?
Mhm.
Fuck
Fantastic. morning comes. Other than Piety's newfound ability to actually sleep, there's nothing unusual that occurs. So everyone can get all of the benefits that a long rest serves your particular character. What would we like to do this morning?
Okay, so in our like short term, we need to find a way to get the dragons out of the vault,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to try to bring the dragons to city officials. Is that we all on the same page about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds right.
All right. And the leads we have to potentially be able to do that would be Rainier Neverember and possibly Barak himself. Do we have any others?
Assuming I have heard nothing, then nope.
Okay. Do we want to just like pop out of bed and try to go touch base with some of these leads and see what we can do?
Hell yeah.
So we can try.
The plan is any.
Go
I mean, I
bother
still
Rainier.
think taking care of our cast lantern problem the old-fashioned way, but that's unrelated.
Just my thirst for blood and theft.
All right. I think it would make sense to try to go find Rainier first, since then we don't have to go into the vault. And Corsonis made a good point about like trying to not to go down there as often as we can.
Okay. And just so I'm clear, Corsonis, you're waiting to hear back from the Blackstaff or anyone from Force Grey. Is that correct?
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. And you're going to Rainier first.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Great. Yeah, at this point, you know where he hangs his hat. And so you can certainly head there. It's early enough in the morning that he hasn't gotten up to any mischief as of yet. And you find him just cleaning up after breakfast. Anything? Well, before we jump right to that, is anything y'all need to or want to discuss while you're on your way there?
I told him I slept
Oh,
very excitedly.
congratulations.
How was it?
Very weird. Real weird. Good though. Real good. I need a like bed because I just have that couch. I mean the couch is nice, don't get me wrong, but like I should get like a bed now, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Or a recliner.
It's not. Well, I mean, I guess I'll try it again. I'll try it again now that I can actually sleep
Or a
and I'm not
hammock,
just sitting
or a
there.
mat, or whatever, do your thing.
I guess I have to retry all of the options this time asleep and see how that
See,
goes.
yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. You got to be, you didn't have an accurate test. Yeah.
You think the recliner's gonna win this time?
Unlikely.
Wait, which one won the last time?
The bed, the normal bed.
Normal, regular thing designed for
Couldn't
sleeping.
believe it.
Who'd have thunk? Hey, who knows? Who knows what might win this time?
I forgot. I got a water bed. I was like, yeah, I got a regular bed.
Hey. That could be nice. That could be real nice. We'll see. We'll see. I also got to figure out what my favorite pie is because I've only had the one kind.
Ugh,
We should have left a pie tin out last night. God.
fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've had those for like months.
Did you leave a pie out?
I didn't have one.
Shit told us.
Tonight.
What's up tonight? Oh yeah. Okay.
All right. You find yourself at Rainier's as he is finishing up after breakfast. I hope there are no more subterranean dives that we need to be involved in. I'm still recovering from our trip into the vault yesterday. What can I help you with, friends?
Well, so we are trying to figure out the best way to remove the dragons we have found and return them to the city. And we sort of think that it might be ideal if we bypass every other middleman who is trying to step in and get their grubby hands on the gold. And if it were at all possible, uh, maybe you being not only member of nobility but a name of significant note in relation to the events and materials in question, if you might know a quick way to be in touch with the Open Lord or even the Masked Lords, so that we could just sort of get it to where it needs to go quick and with as few interferences as possible.
Well, I can certainly try. It does potentially put me in a rather sticky situation. If I'm announcing that I know the whereabouts of the money embezzled by my father when he was the Open Lord, some might ask what my level of involvement was in the original crime, or at least in covering it up for as long as it has been. But it could break the other way as well, I guess. It could lend additional gravitas to the claim. And I mean, under normal circumstances, the Open Lord would have nothing to do with me. As you can imagine, meeting with a Never Ember is not high on the list of good political moves for the Open Lord. But I could certainly try. I mean, I do think I would reach out to. I guess I'll talk with Volo. He's much more charming and engaging than I am, and has literally written the book on Waterdeep. Maybe with his assistance and guidance, I can reduce the possibility of negative outcomes and increase the possibility of positive ones. I can't promise anything, though. Are you sure none of you know any of the Masked Lords? I mean, yes, they're secret, but some are more secret than others.
I think that's sort of the point. We're not supposed to know them.
Well, I know that's the point, right? But and some of those secrets are very well kept, but I mean, I just know that some of them aren't.
If I'm placing bets, it's Vincent. It's fucking Vincent.
I am not from here. Perhaps you might enlighten me on some of who these less secret, but still secret, masked lords are.
Oh, I mean, rumors go around all the time about all sorts of people. I don't know that any of them are necessarily accurate. Nim and Piety, you've both been here a while. Make me a history check.
Hmm.
That feels right.
Yeah.
I haven't heard shit.
Right. What you two can confirm is that there are always rumors about who's a masked lord. Right. And it seems like when anyone has a streak of good fortune here in Waterdeep, right, rumors start flying around that that individual may be a masked lord. Upon sharing this information, Rainier Neverember says, "Oh, well, in that case, if you all keep it up, perhaps I'll hear a rumor that one of you is one of the masked lords of Waterdeep. You seem to be doing quite well for yourselves, all things considered."
That is a fascinating interpretation of the things that have happened to us.
We have multiple people attempting to kill us and extort us as we speak.
Yeah, I feel like that
So-
would just add to the amount of people trying to kill and extort us. So
Right, but I mean, the flip side of it is you've found an enormous trove of treasure belonging to the city that was embezzled from the city that you are attempting to return. You've saved the lives of 2 children. The haunt's very popular.
Oh, is it? We were there last night. I wasn't paying attention.
I was too busy playing ceiling knife darts.
Almost
do you
fucking
know,
died like
since
that.
you've introduced that, do you know how many bars now have ceiling dots in their establishments?
Fucker. See, this is why we actually
What?
need money. We need to purchase copyrights.
If you've got legal
I feel
troubles, I
bad
suggest
now.
talking to Volo.
I feel bad now. That's a very dangerous game we put out there.
Yeah, welcome.
Oh,
Well, I mean, as I said, I will do my best. I will seek Volo's help, and we will try and get an audience with Lady Silverhand.
That would be great. Yeah.
yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Hmm.
Okay. Oh my god.
Well, do we want to wait to figure out if he's able to pull those strings for us, or do we want to just go to the barrack now?
Do we have a quick way to contact him? Should we need to? Wait, am I talking about? I can do that. Never mind. I have
Yeah,
sending.
that's on. That's you. That's you two.
I mean, I could add one of them to the book.
I don't. Wouldn't you have to remove somebody to do that?
I would.
Yeah, that's fine. I can. I have that ability. I can contact him. I just forgot that I could do that. That's all. Well, I don't see any reason that we should wait overly long. I mean, even if, well, I suppose if we got an audience, we would need to come back here first, so I don't know. Feels like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Go now. Wait.
We can wait, I think.
I feel like waiting is something that we should just do.
Wait it is.
Great. Where are you guys going to wait it out?
Probably at home, I think.
Okay.
That's what I was planning.
Fantastic. And you guys are already on. Yeah, you're already at the haunt. And as you return home, Mert and Asper are waiting there for you. We'll just have them come on in. Asper says, so, we have spoken with the Blackstaff, and she has spoken with Lady Silverhand, who has consulted with the Masked Lords, and the decision has been made that Force Grey will be taking the dragons. We will be using most of it for our off-the-books budget to try and keep Waterdeep safe. How does that
Yeah,
stand with everyone?
Could we get that in writing from one of the lords?
I was just about to ask, like, how am I feeling about that?
Okay, so let me just check in. Nim, you're asking for it in writing. Corsonis, are you just asking yourself, like, how you're feeling about it, or are you trying to get a vibe check on either of these two?
No, I'm not trying to get a vibe check.
Gotcha.
I'm not feeling like that's going to be a lie that's going to go very far. So
Okay. Mert looks at Asper and says, well, you said they weren't going to take you at your word. I guess I should have listened to you. And he pulls a scroll out from an inner pocket of his cloak and produces it, stating essentially what Asper has just said. The wording's a little different, but the meaning's the same.
And is there like a sigil seal or something?
There is not.
It's just a piece
I
of
can do what I
paper that
want.
says-
I was going to say
Mm-hmm.
the equivalent of a Ron Swanson paper.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. So, Mert says, oh, I'm terribly sorry. One moment. Pulls a candle over to heat a bit of wax that he pulls from his pocket. And then pulls out a rather large, heavy piece of brass and puts the seal of the Masked Lords of Waterdeep on this thing and hands it to you. Sufficient now?
I'll be fucking damned. Should really have a lawyer on retainer, I think. This looks really. I mean, I'll just put it in front of everybody else.
Man,
Well, you are now privy to a secret that I'd say roughly 27% of Waterdeep already knows. Most people are better at keeping a secret than I am. I own a theater. I have a flair for the dramatic.
I mean, fair. Can't really fault you on that one.
Do you have any questions about why or how?
Why you're a masked lord?
No, I mean why the decision was made the way it was. Or is it sufficient that the Masked Lords have said Forcegray's getting the money?
Efficient enough for me.
Yeah,
But-
I'm good. I mean, you said you had the flair for the dramatic, so the floor is yours. Actually, we have a stage
Oh,
back here, actually, if you want.
We can set up
well.
the pyrotechnics. Real nice.
Look, I'm happy to get on with it and get on with the collection. So, yeah, if you'd like to.
Do you have a crew? I mean, this is 500,000 dragons we're talking about.
We can get.
Don't imagine it's just the two of you and us, of course. We'll have to take you there.
Right. But, well, you will take us there. We will go there with a small contingent of both military and Forcegrey operatives, and secure the facility so that we can set up an efficient means to have our people move all of the coinage out.
Fair enough, I suppose.
Very well. I believe there's one additional bit of business, dear. And Asper stands up, says, oh, yes. Corsonus?
Yeah.
The rookie amulet, please.
Here you are.
Thank you for a job well done in your continuing efforts to secure the peace here in Waterdeep. We now announce your promotion from rookie to veteran. Congratulations. And she hands you a new Forcegrey amulet. This one, in addition to the metal, bit of crystal in the middle of it.
I had to be a cop the other day. I did not very much like it. But thank you.
None of us do. It's among the chief reasons people join Forcegrey.
Woo, Corsonas!
So, shall we go? Do you want to? Well, I mean, the sooner the better, but if you need a little time.
I mean, I guess we could, if there's means for it, we could just kind of start working on it. Oh, also, this place is being repossessed unless we're able to get 5,000 gold.
Oh, well. By the Castle and Tears?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a lot of nerve, huh?
That they do. They're in so much trouble. They're just being petty. I'm sure, particularly with Foursquare's new slush fund, that we can get this taken care of for some of our operatives. Mert
Oh,
looks at her and rolls his eyes and is like, the Master Lords don't want to hear anything about the particulars. We've agreed to let you have the money. Best we don't know how you're using it. Just do it. If you think it's best to keep the city safe, by all means. That's why we put it in your hands.
oh, so when they get to ignore the law, it's cool.
We're not ignoring the law. We are the law.
Sort of set yourself up for that one. Not gonna lie, Nim.
I promise you, the safety of this city hinges on this tavern being up and running by us, particularly.
I mean, I sense the sarcasm in your voice, but given what you've done for the city, and at least what you've done for the city and what you've done for these two children, I mean, an argument can be made.
Also, knife sealing darts. I mean, you don't get that kind of ingenuity anywhere else.
I think that might be doing just about as much harm to the rest of the city as we've done good. So
Balance. It's all about balance.
Wait, that's you guys? The Hawk and Dove is claiming that they're the home of the sealing darts.
Get the fuck out of here.
This just became a whole new campaign accidentally.
Chasing down every other bar that is talking shit.
Killed him.
Unleashing Zydia upon them.
We're not letting it slide.
So then we sabotage these other places.
All right. Are we heading out now, or are we meeting at this location? Are you going to tell us the location? Where are we going? What are we doing?
Oh, do you have enough
All-
crew to do it? It's a lot of money.
Yeah, if you're ready to go, we can take you there right now. We were honestly, we were kind of on our way there.
Okay.
Because we were going to.
Well, you guys have seen it. How does this sound as a plan? You'll tell us the location. Asper will call ahead or use a sending stone to alert Foursquare to send out a contingent. They'll pick up a contingent of city guard along the way just to secure the premises. We won't worry about moving anything, but just to secure the premises. At which point, once that is done, we can then start the process of bringing city guards in, bringing carts in, all of that sort of stuff. But our first goal will be to get there, to secure it, to make sure that there's nothing else going on there. Seem reasonable? You've seen it.
It's probably actually for the best. There's someone there who thinks she has a claim to it just by owning the property. Also, there's someone inside that we need to talk with before we do any of the actual labor involved. So, got a couple of things to handle.
I mean, I'm fully prepared to actually finally arrest Esvel. So, if we need to do it, we can do that. I did warn her.
Yep, there you
Okay,
go.
wonderful. Let's head out then. And give me a second here. Oh, I know what I can do. Or we'll just do it this way. All right, you make your way through the city, um, back to the somewhat familiar location at this point, and upon your arrival, you don't see any of the mess that you saw in the street, but you do sort of tucked in around. I'm actually going to move these people. As you sort of approach, Kaz in particular, you've got a high enough passive perception. You see their dead bodies stacked over to the side here.
I think I'm going to point it out to who's ever right next to it. They
Yeah,
got,
that looks like Nim and Exidia.
yeah. Oh, it got fucking bad over here, man.
Mm.
Oh, fuck.
So what's the plan now? Are we just going to stand here?
No, we need to go in.
Yeah.
I will just go straight up and knock on the door.
The door swings open the first time you hit it.
Oh, I'm sure that that's nothing at all to worry about. Nothing at. Asveli, are you alive?
You hear no response.
Yes, I'm sure nothing to worry about there. Sorry.
Yes.
For the record, if Jarlaxle has been here and Barak is hurt, I will have the biggest "I told you so." That's all. That's all. That's all.
Yeah. Yep.
Nothing horrible, but I will say "I told you so."
Yeah, you.
I am petty that way since I am now a cop.
Mm.
Asper, you hear Asper from behind you. Just call out, "Not a cop."
You're pretty much a cop. Don't worry. I got you. I know who you are.
Yeah, there's nobody on this first level, and that spiral staircase going down, it is free to explore.
I will just go straight down for the vault.
Great.
Because I'm reasonably certain I know what I'm going to see.
I'm going down there with you.
Or so
Yeah.
is certain at any rate.
Okay. You head down there, and the vault doors are wide open.
Oh boy.
Ugh. You know, maybe he's airing it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure that's it. I'm sure everything is going to be fine.
Okay. So as you go down, and assuming you continue calling out for Barak and continue exploring the vault, what you find is the following. You hear no response. As you work your way through, you see the big mural just off the initial giant sort of room that you enter that initially charged or charmed Nim, right, has been completely covered with some sort of tarp. As you then work your way up and you see those 3 bridges, there has been makeshift rope bridges built to pass over those spans. The one on the left, the leftmost room, just has a big red X painted in front of the doorway. The one on the right is missing the hammer that was in the wall that you used to hit the anvil to get the temporary hit points. The room in the center has that trap door to the staircase leading down ripped off of its hinges. And is it safe to assume you are heading down?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When you head down, there is nothing in the vault downstairs. Not a single fucking thing. Mert, who has followed, and Asper, but they both followed you down, and they're sort of walking around this big empty space. And Mert, looking at all of you in turn, says, well, I'm judging by the looks on your faces that this is not some sort of sick joke and there's a real problem here. Care to explain?
We would
Give
love
me-
to explain.
Give me one moment, please.
Mhm.
Just a moment. I will cast Sending.
Mhm.
I will cast Sending to Barak Langhammer. We are back in the vault. Don't see you or the money. What the hell happened? That's it. I'm not
Okay,
even
great.
using all 25 words.
Great. There's a bit of a pause. Hold on one second.
Oh my god, guys. He has the money. He's going to grab it right now.
Okay. Corsona, make me an Arcana check, Corsonas.
Arcana.
Yeah. It takes you a moment, right? But you realize, well, you know immediately that the spell didn't work, right? And then looking around here, you realize, there's a pretty good chance I can't be down here. Any attempt to cast Sending from in the vault is going to be unsuccessful.
Oh, thank God.
Right. There is that whole protected against scrying, divination, and all of that jazz. But never mind. Once we're out of here, I can attempt to contact. Them and hope that there is a. I'm sure that there is a reasonable explanation. I'm sure that there is a reasonable explanation. We could go back up and check the other secret room. I don't see any reason to believe that has suffered the same fate. I guess we would have passed by it on our way down. Actually, was the secret door open? Because I'm assuming we closed it.
Yeah, the secret door was open.
Ah, that doesn't bode well.
I mean, we're not seeing his body, which is good, right?
Whose body?
We
The
told you there
Guardian.
was a guardian. Yeah.
Yeah, like you left somebody here to guard the loot.
No, there
Yeah.
was
Exactly.
someone here who had been assigned, designated by Dagult to guard this place, and has been here the whole time, and now he's not.
Mert looks at Asper, and Asper looks at Mert. And Asper says, and do you have a way to contact this person as long as we're not in this vault?
Yes, I believe that it is the vault that is preventing my ability to contact them. Yes.
Let's get out of this vault.
That was sort of the plan. Yes.
Yeah, she'll start working her way up.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody going up? Or is
Sure.
any additional investigation being done in here?
I mean, yeah, I would like to do a quick investigation. I will actually cast Detect Magic to see if there's anything going on down here. But other than that, looking for blood, looking for any sign of something having gone down here.
I'll give you a bardic inspiration for that.
Yeah, you don't even really need to roll anything. You just, there's no blood, there's detect magic doesn't detect anything new. It there wasn't any magic down here, right? But assuming you keep it going, since it's concentration, it'll still show the magic that exists in, that you determined or you discovered in your first trip, but there's nothing new. The only thing that you do find is on one of the pillars in the vault all the way down where you met Barack Klanghammer. In some rouge on one of the pillars, there's a red Z.
I will point a finger at it, and I will do a slow camera turn to look over at Nim. And I'll just tap it a few times.
Do you think it's my fault?
No, of course not. I don't think you led him here. I just meant all of the perhaps we should no, this was a problem.
I never said it wasn't. We should
get out of here. We should go try to contact him. It's exactly who we expected. Is basically what I was trying to jokingly point out.
Well, we'll go out.
Great.
Yeah. Once we are out of the vault, I will once again try to cast Sending.
Okay. And can you just repeat the message or the gist of it? That you don't have to worry about the words.
Basically, hey, Barack, we went down to the vault. We checked in on the tried to check in on you. Didn't see any of the things that were supposed to be down there. What's up? What happened? What's going on?
Hmm.
Where are you at, buddy?
Mm-hmm. So, silence. But you do get a response. It's, oh, my friends, your friend stopped by, was very nice. He helped me out. Got me all sorts of wonderful new foods and helped me get out of the vault and see more of the city. He says you should come down and visit us down by the docks.
I'm just nervously chewing my nails.
Mhm.
Well, good news. I will relay everything in the most deadpan, just are you fucking kidding me tone that I can possibly manage right now.
Well,
He's not dead.
No, I didn't expect that he's dead. No.
I'll look around. Should we bring others, or should we try to handle this just us somehow?
I expect he'll want us on our own, but
Yeah.
I'm honestly fine showing up with whoever we want to bring. He will probably be far less inclined to be reasonable, but
I don't want to. I just don't want to bring more people into this shit already.
everyone here is already in this shit.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't want to bring more people, man. Let's just go on our own.
At that, Asper turns to Mert and says, honey, why don't you go wait outside? And he's like, already, step ahead of you, already on it. And he's just walking out so that he doesn't have to hear any of this. Asper walks right up to you, Corsonis, and says, well, it appears you and your friends have really stepped in it.
Really? Did we? I hadn't noticed.
understatement of the century.
People keep saying that to us.
I don't remember stepping in anything. I've been thrown into a lot of stuff.
Asper, looking at four of you, Piety, Nim, Kaz, and Corsonis, it like eyes darting between the four of you, will be like, please tell me one of you's responsible for explaining it to her. And she's pointing at Exidia.
No, it's funnier this way.
Very well, you work the way you work. I presume you will take care of this. I will stall the rest of Force Grey until you've got some actual answers. And please, Corsonis, don't make me have to give you the rookie badge back.
No.
I'm going to pretend I didn't even hear that.
Asper turns on her heel, and as she's walking out, she's like, "Yeah, I'd do the same thing."
Okay, so we run to the docks, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
was just going to take my time, but yes, we need to get to the
Yeah.
dock.
I have a very real fear of reliving some things.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't. You can either come or not. I can.
No, I'm coming. I'm coming.
Okay.
I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. Could be great, guys. Love talking to this man.
All right. Well,
Um,
speed walk through.
great. Oh, there we go. As you remember, this was the setup for the Sea Maidens Fair. The fair is not operating at this hour.
Good and festive.
Right. But there are some people walking around, cleaning up, doing some work, right? And all of them, as they see you, wave and point in the direction of this ship over here. Right? Like everyone clearly is aware that who you are, that you're coming, and where you're supposed to go. Right. As you do, they lead you below decks and at a banquet table that's a little too large for the room that it is in. You see at one end of it, Barack Klanghammer with a bunch of jewels laid out in front of him. Jarlaxle is sitting next to him with his arm around him, and the two of them are laughing. And Isveli is there as well, and she is relatively quiet, at least in relation to the other two. Although when she sees you all enter, she actually picks up her pace a little bit and walks right up to you and just says, the children, how are the children?
Oh, fine. I think.
Mm.
Little stressed, but fine and
Oh,
safe.
well,
Little
Contract.
stressed, little older, but
Hmm?
fine.
Yeah, contract
Oh.
absolved.
well, in that case, well done. And raises a glass and then looks at all of you and is like, oh, do you need some? Can I get you something to drink? And without waiting for an answer, goes and grabs like a couple bottles of wine, puts them down at the end of the table, spreads some mugs out, and goes back to sort of standing quietly in the corner, sipping her drink. Meanwhile, Jarlaxle seems to be in the middle of like telling like a private, like dirty joke to Barack Klanghammer. And then finally, like, turns his attention to the end of the table. Oh, my babies, you've made it. We've done quite a job, haven't we? Have you decided where the money's going?
Well.
The Lords of Waterdeep have decided, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Well, I'm happy to send it wherever it is. You, if you're following their lead, wonderful. Great. Where should it go?
Force Grey will be by to acquire it.
Oh, so we don't even have to deliver it. They'll come here and pick it up?
That's right.
Excellent. Well, shall we celebrate?
Yes.
There you go. Something.
Is it alright if we speak with our friend here? I'll kind of gesture at Barak.
Certainly. Say whatever you like. Ask whatever you like.
Are you feeling okay?
Oh, I'm feeling better than I have in years. I was running low on supplies, and it was getting rather lonely. Your friend here made me a wonderful deal. Don't have to stay in that vault, and I have much more treasure of my own.
Oh, is it right if you tell us what deal he made with you?
Certainly, he points to the starboard side of the ship, right? Which is basically pointing towards the dock, and says that the hull of that ship over there is filled with gold and gems and various other treasures. It's now mine.
In exchange for what?
Oh, well, that was in exchange for access to all of the Never Ember dragons, which I was only willing to give up because he said he was associated with you and that you were going to return it to the city. I knew that. Well, I suspected strongly that they were not taken in good faith, and you confirmed that suspicion. But my greed kept me down there. Your friend here just appealed to my greed to get me out.
Okay. All right.
And your contract with Neverember to guard those things and leave them there just...
Well, you brought a Never Ember who said I didn't need to do that anymore.
Yep. We did.
We brought a Neverember. That's certainly true.
Well, I thought I was supposed to wait there until you had someone come to secure the dragons, and then your friend here came and secured the dragons.
Yes, we told you that we would be back.
Is he not working with you?
No. Nor is he our friend, or at least not mine.
Oh, well, this is embarrassing. Jarlaxle's pouting. And I mean, it's clearly in a clown, like it's not real. It's clearly like making fun of you for saying that he's not your friend.
The good news is that at least part of what we're hoping to handle here is about to be resolved peacefully, right? And it'll sort of nod towards Jarlaxle, like for confirmation.
Whatever do you mean?
We're the dragons, as designated, are going to the city
Oh,
through the hands of Force Grey, right?
yes, absolutely. And you will get almost all of the credit for it. The only thing I want out of that exchange is just acknowledgement that I, at your direction or under your auspices, secured the dragons in a manner that they weren't left sitting down there where only Isveli and her paltry team were there to protect them against the onslaught that was sure to come, that had come. But you did all the hard work of finding it. You did all the hard work of opening it. The only thing, I just had the additional manpower that you didn't have to actually undertake the logistical problem of getting it all out of there. That's all.
So,
But-
whatever happened to Isveli?
Oh, Sveli's right here. We
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Isveli is, she chimes in. She's like, "Yeah, I may as well point out that you don't have to worry about our old deal for the 10%. Jarlaxle has bought me out, so to speak. So I have no more claim on any of the Never Ember dragons. It can all go back to the city." And Jarlaxle is just beaming. See? Everything to the city.
Everything is so far going exactly the way to the end results that we were for.
Yes, and what I was for too. I need to impress upon the officials here that Jarlaxle is a friend of the city.
Yes, and that just resolves the final point, that the last thing that had been discussed about the item to be turned over to the Blackstaff. Is that still in intention?
Absolutely. Just not right now.
I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna get up and leave.
Why not right now?
Well, it's part of my deal with Mr. Clanghammer here. He wants to stay and enjoy the city a bit. Are you trying to leave, Corsanis?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. You're going to have to fight your way out.
Are we on a boat?
Yeah.
Are we actually on one of these boats?
Yep.
Because I am more than willing to sink this boat with all in it. Is there a reason that I'm not allowed to leave? Am I a prisoner here?
You hurt my feelings, Corsanis. We were all trying to do something good for Waterdeep, and you don't want to be a part of that anymore?
Waterdeep. I'm under no illusions that you care about Waterdeep any more than I do, and I don't particularly care about Waterdeep.
Oh.
My job here keeps me here. My desire to see this city taken care of exceeds the, it would seem, desire of most of its own people. You and I are not friends. You and I no business together that I would have kept. And now I am supposed to sit here while you manipulate this individual and all of us to your own desires? No. I have done my job. Force Grey will be here to claim the dragons. You say you have a deal with Clanghammer. Clanghammer is under no obligation to me. Our arrangements, as far as I can tell, are done. You have agreed that the gold can be claimed by the city as desired, you will, of course, insist on your bit of drama and manipulation. Anyone here is welcome to play your game. I will have nothing to do with it. And if that makes us at odds, then I suppose we are at odds.
Jarlaxle takes a napkin from his lap and wipes the corners of his mouth and puts it down on the table as he stands up. He takes a big, deep breath that turns into a sigh. He just says, well, I could just never stay angry at you, Corsonis. Of course you're free to go. It hurts me deeply that you don't think I care about Waterdeep, that you don't think I care about the Lord's Alliance, when my life's work is to try and get into it and try and impress the people of both institutions. But you'll see. You are free to go. And the two Zardazes that have been standing in the doorway move out of the way so that you can pass through.
I will just give a little head tilt of like, yep.
Mhm.
See ya.
I think I will follow Corsonis.
Okay. Let's stay with the group that's sticking around. Is anyone else leaving with Corsonis and Exidia?
I'm leaving with Corsonis.
Okay.
That's fine.
Piety, Nim, are you staying or going?
I'm doing whatever Nim's doing. I don't want to leave him alone here.
I'm staying, but I'm looking like bewildered and offended, like full out. No mask of emotions on that one.
Okay. Who are you offended by? So that I'm clear.
Frankly, everybody walking out.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And great. So they walk out. Jarlaxle sits back down and he's like, well, not quite the party I expected, but I'm still in a mood to celebrate. How about both of you?
Not really.
Oh, well, what seems to be the problem?
Well, I'm here to finish what we started, which is get the gold where it needs to go,
Mm-hmm.
get the item into safe hands.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of turns to Piety, and I'm frankly at a loss as to what seems to be the problem. We've done it. Leaving now is saying that it was more important that we did it than anyone else. Am I crazy?
Hey, who knows? Look, I think Corsonis just needed to not be here, but I'm sure he'll call Force Grey or whatever to come meet us.
If it's all the same, and he'll turn back to Jarlaxle.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather not celebrate until everything is in its place. As we've wanted for weeks now. But I'd rather be here to make sure that I see everything happen.
Well, that sounds perfectly reasonable. Force Grey can come and pick up the money whenever they like. I'd prefer if they did it during the day, of course. I would hate to shut down the fair. The people love it so. But if we have to, we have to. It will be quite an endeavor to move that amount of coin. Trust me, I know.
And is Piety and Lydia is she safe here? Is there more that we need to resolve somehow?
Lydia. Have you been stealing from me again?
I only dream of it.
Oh, well. Can't
The whole
punish a
time you've been
person.
talking about the horde you got on the other
Right.
ship, I'm like, don't tell me that shit.
Right.
Sheesh.
Can't punish a person for their dreams. I've taken my revenge for the years and years and years of embezzlement that I was unable to solve. No, that has
I
stopped.
guess. I mean, you did kind of solve it, I suppose.
Well, I stopped it.
Yeah.
Oh, to know how it was done.
Shit.
But
I don't know anything more than you do.
I guess that, right? I mean, I guess that drowned when you did.
Haha. Good one.
No, we're fine.
Piety, did you ever learn why you'd never said anything?
Huh? Do what?
Why you kept a secret?
Oh, why I didn't expose whoever I was working with? I don't know.
Or I mean, what was happening with them? I mean, you don't have it now. You know, Fat Lot of Good it did you personally.
Yeah. I do know, but I'll tell you at home.
Ooh, secrets.
Like you said, punished me already for not talking, if I got that story right. So I'd be doing Miss Lydia a disservice by spilling it now.
What an excellent point. Very well. So, are we to assume that the party that has left is going to contact Force Grey?
Oh, I'm sure.
Piety is sort of on you to make sure that happens, since they're not.
Oh, yeah. Hang on. I do have Corsonis in my list. I can send her a message.
Yes.
Okay.
One sec, and she will not move anywhere, but will just turn around and go, "Hey, Corsonis, will you let Force Grey know to send people over right now so we can supervise? Thank you. Bye." I'll turn back around.
Corsonis, you have the opportunity to respond if you would like to.
Oh, I'm muted. Yes, that was part of the plan. Yes.
Great. Let's take this opportunity, right, to shift focus over to Corsonis and Kaz and Exidia. What is this crew doing? Where are you headed once you get to the upper deck, perhaps off the boat?
Just stopping essentially on the dock to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
just to do that sending.
Okay. Anything else the three of you would like to do, or just need to get out of Jarlaxle's radius?
I think I was more following Corsonis so that nobody is wandering off alone. But I think Exidia is like, all right, well, I'm glad all that's resolved. Cool. Go home.
I'm going to wait here for Force Grey to arrive, make sure that everything gets... Make sure the money is picked up, all that sort of thing. Make sure that...
Yeah, all right, well, we can.
Okay. Let's go back inside. Is there anything else that needs to be discussed with Jarlaxle?
Yeah, just waiting now, watching
Great.
the ocean.
Okay, yeah. In that case, first it's Mert and Asper. They are more than a little taken back by the fact that you're not only having them meet with Jarlaxle, but that he not only seems like amiable, right, and willing to hand over absolutely everything that all of the dragons that they expected, right, but is asking for nothing in return. Mert tells Asper, like, look, I can't stay here with it. Like, I don't care how cool this, like, I got to get out of here. Asper's like, understood, but eventually Force Grey comes and more of them come, and then more of the city guard come, right? And really, after Asper and that sort of next wave of Force Grey show up, like, Jarlaxle is just retreats below deck, and no one even really, like, there's a rumor that he might be around, but that dissipates pretty quickly. The one thing I will point out to the party, right, is that Jarlaxle, you hear him speak in a sort of third tone and accent when he meets with Mert and Asper that is very calm and very reserved and very, like, just straight business like. It's a lot of, we have the dragons. We just tell us whatever assistance you need to get them. We secured them at the request of the members of the Haunt. We serve at the pleasure of Waterdeep and the Lord's Alliance. Just want to prove our worth. And yeah, they hand over. Actually, they end up handing over a little bit more than 500,000 dragons, because Jarlaxle points out that there was other treasure that was found in the vault, right? And he just volunteers that he doesn't feel it's appropriate that he keep it, right? And like, Force Grey is not going to argue about taking extra coinage, and that is that. That process takes the better part of the afternoon. Asper gathers the group of you together and again says, "Good work. And don't worry about that nonsense with the Castle and Tears. We'll buy out the contract in your name so there's no more debt. You'll own the house outright. And they might be on the streets now, but that's not quite the same as being free. And I mean, we've got them dead to rights. You won't have to worry about them much longer. We're going to fast forward just a bit because that's fortuitous. Because the next morning, you are awoken. Let me see how I want to do this. No, I think this is the best way to do it. Oh, well, that's not going to cut it. You are awoken at the haunt. Let me get everybody back there. Actually, I'm going to put you guys here. All right.
Oh, I haven't seen this one in a while.
Right. Now a lot of these guys aren't here yet, but you're awoken by these fairly massive mobs of just massive, like, humanity and devilish creatures just sort of intertwined. It's just a mob of humanity and devils and just streaming into Troll Skull Alley. And that is where we are going to end this session.
What the